Welcome back to the deep dive. So this is where we take that stack of sources you send us, all the articles, the research, the raw data, and we give you that ultimate shortcut to being, well, profoundly well-informed.
Exactly.
And today we are tackling a topic that, it really influences just about every major life choice you could make.
Oh, absolutely. From job negotiations to, where you might even want to live in the next decade.
We are diving into the 10 countries with the highest paid jobs in 2026.
And our mission here isn't just to, read off a ranked list. Anyone can Google that.
Right.
The real goal is to understand the engine behind those numbers. What are the core economic factors that push salaries up past, say, $500,000, and why these specific countries?
We've distilled a really fascinating set of data for this deep dive, and it doesn't just give us the list, it zeroes in on the specific high-demand jobs in each country.
And when you connect the dots, you see a pattern. The high pay, it almost always comes down to one of three things: specialized risk, irreplaceable knowledge, or just a severe sustained labor shortage in a critical field. And that's really the core of what we're doing here.
Okay, let's unpack this. We should probably jump right into what we're calling the global financial and tech dominators. These are the absolute benchmarks.
We have to start with the heavyweight champion, the country that, despite all the global shifts, remains #1 for high salaries, especially at that senior level.
The United States.
The United States.
It's still #1, but the reason for that dominance is kind of evolving, right? The big sectors are still tech, finance, medicine, specialized engineering.
For sure. We're talking senior software engineers, data analysts, product managers, very specialized doctors.
But what makes the U.S. so unique is the compensation structure itself.
Yes. The base salaries are huge, don't get me wrong. But the real wealth generation, especially in places like the Bay Area or New York, it comes from equity, stock options.
So it's the total package.
Exactly. Our sources show those non-cash benefits often push the total compensation way beyond what even a high European base salary can offer. It keeps them at the very peak.
So it's where that high-risk innovation culture meets really high reward. But it also comes with, reputation for extremely long work hours.
That's the trade-off. The dynamism is unmatched. But it comes at a cost. Housing crises, intense competition, and this feeling that if you stop running for a second, you just fall behind.
Which brings us to #2. And this is where it gets really interesting for me because it's such a different model from the U.S.
Switzerland. It's the definition of a precision economy. It's built on just extreme financial stability. They are always at the top for income.
But, and this is the key, they're also at the top for quality of life, QL.
That is the crucial part. That's the balance everyone is looking for, isn't it? High pay and a serene lifestyle.
And the sources show that high pay is really driven by the specialists who maintain that stability.
Yeah.
So we're looking at bankers, high-level engineers.
Specialized pharmacists, IT specialists. It really reflects a nation that values preservation and deep expertise over, say, pure disruption.
The cost of living is obviously very high there.
It's undeniable. But here's the thing. The compensation for those core roles is so high, sometimes double what they'd earn elsewhere, that the income actually retains its purchasing power. You can afford that amazing quality of life.
You're paid to be a high-precision component in a finely tuned machine.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Okay, so rounding out the top 3 is a country that just punches so far above its weight. A fast-growing hub.
Singapore. Its placement at #3 is purely strategic. It is one of the safest, smallest, and most aggressively pro-business places on the planet.
They're really positioning themselves as the gateway to advanced Asian markets.
And they are paying for the exact talent they need to secure that position. You can see it in the jobs.
Yeah, the salaries reflect that focus on future industries. Finance, of course, but also cybersecurity, AI development, advanced shipping logistics.
Think about why cybersecurity is so vital for them. As this huge maritime and financial hub, their entire economic survival depends on the integrity of their networks.
So they're basically buying the best human capital in the world to mitigate an existential risk.
It's a classic example. You pay an absolute premium for that kind of specialized, irreplaceable knowledge.
So just to recap the top 3, the pattern seems clear. If you're a high-level specialist in finance or disruptive tech, these are the countries setting the global pay rate.
Absolutely.
It's easy to just focus on the biggest number on the paycheck, but salary isn't everything.
Not at all.
So let's pivot to our second section. Countries where that high pay is bundled with other major benefits. We're talking time off, great benefits, or even zero tax.
Exactly. And this is where the calculation really changes for you, the listener. Is the absolute highest gross income your goal, or do you care more about net income or maybe work-life balance?
Let's start with number 4, Australia. This one offers such a compelling combination.
Yeah.
Great pay and that, famous relaxed lifestyle. The Australian dream.
What's interesting about Australia is its dual economic engine. You've got the high-skill services, doctors, nurses, engineers, software developers, all earning incredibly well.
But there's also the resource sector.
Right, the sources really highlight that. Miners, specialized resource management professionals, they are compensated massively. It's a direct reflection of Australia's huge natural resource wealth.
I wonder, though, does that reliance on resources make them more vulnerable to, say, global commodity price swings, more so than a pure tech hub like Singapore?
It definitely introduces more volatility, but that volatility during the boom cycles translates into massive demand for talent, which drives the overall salary average way up.
And the work-life balance acts as a magnet.
A powerful one. You might attract a worker who takes slightly less pay than in the US, but in return gets significantly more personal time.
Okay, next up is the big economic magnet in number 5, the United Arab Emirates.
The UAE, Dubai, Abu Dhabi. It's all driven by one major, almost irresistible incentive for the high earner.
No income tax.
Confirmed, zero income tax. If you are a highly mobile specialist, the immediate jump in your take-home pay is it's unparalleled.
So if that's the case, why isn't the UAE number 1 on this list? Does the super high cost of living in a place like Dubai cancel out some of that benefit?
It absolutely mitigates it. And that's the nuance you have to understand. The tax benefit is huge, but the infrastructure, housing, private healthcare, schooling for your kids, it's all extremely expensive.
So the net income for a senior engineer might be stellar.
But the overall package is really geared toward attracting temporary, highly compensated expat talent, not necessarily permanent settlement.
And the jobs reflect that. Aviation, huge engineering projects, high-end hospitality, finance.
And then oil and gas, of course. It's the highest expression of the maximize your take-home cash model.
Okay, so now we jump down to number 8, Norway, which provides the perfect contrast to the UAE.
A complete contrast. Norway is all about balancing high salaries with excellent benefits and one of the best living standards in the world.
This is a really critical distinction.
It is. Norway runs on a high-tax, high social benefit model. So let's say a specialized oil engineer makes a gross salary of, $150,000.
Right.
That gets taxed heavily. But in return, that person gets world-class healthcare, nearly free education for their family, incredible infrastructure. It's all funded by those taxes.
Whereas that same 150 in the UAE is all net, but you have to pay privately and, exorbitantly for top-tier schools and healthcare.
It completely flips the financial equation. Norway's highest-paid jobs are tied to its resources, oil engineers, energy specialists, but also critically to its public services.
Teachers, healthcare workers.
Construction workers, they're all highly compensated, which suggests a really high value is placed on maintaining essential services for the whole population.
It's a powerful reminder that high pay isn't just for Wall Street or Silicon Valley.
It exists in nations that place a high mandated value on the skilled labor that supports the whole country.
Which brings us to our final section, the industrial powerhouses. These are nations driven by explicit, immediate labor needs.
And this is so crucial because it highlights opportunities where foreign talent isn't just desirable, it's necessary for the country to function. Job security is high because the demand is structural.
Let's start with number 6, Germany, the industrial powerhouse of Europe.
But that excellence is struggling against demographics. Our sources show Germany is facing a serious structural labor deficit. Some projections say they need something like 400,000 skilled immigrants a year.
Just to maintain their current economic output?
Just to keep the factories humming. And that need translates directly into high salaries for the specific roles that power the German economic engine.
We're not just talking generic engineers.
No, we're talking mechatronics engineers, automotive software integrators, the core of their advanced manufacturing, plus specialized IT and healthcare. They're paying a premium because the talent pipeline at home just isn't enough.
It's a critical lesson. If an economy must have a skill, they will pay for it.
Then you have Canada at number 7, and Canada is a top choice because those strong wages are actively supported by very clear, systematic immigration pathways.
They make it accessible.
What's fascinating about Canada is the sheer breadth of the demand. It's not just one or two sectors. Their list of high earners is so diverse.
Right. It's nurses, doctors, electricians, but also software developers and even truck drivers.
Exactly. It really contrasts with, say, Singapore's hyper-focus on finance. Canada needs the high-tech talent, yes, but it also desperately needs the core essential labor to keep a vast country running.
Moving on to number 9, Japan. This is where the link between rising pay and the need for more workers is just so direct.
Japan has, arguably the most acute demographic challenges of any developed economy. The salary increases we're seeing projected for 2026 are a direct consequence of that shortage.
They're literally having to pay more just to attract and retain the skilled people they need.
And look at where they're concentrating those pay bumps. It's in fields that mitigate the need for human labor.
So AI, automation, robotics.
High-tech engineering, manufacturing. They are investing heavily in the technology and in the human experts who can manage that technology. It's a very tactical response.
And finally, rounding out our top 10, the United Kingdom.
The UK really holds its spot because of London. Its status as one of the world's top financial centers just guarantees strong pay for skilled workers, and that anchors the salary structure for the whole country.
It's not just finance, though. High salaries are also there in healthcare, specialized law, advanced tech.
It shows a permanent concentration of high-skill service industries. While it might not have the QAL metrics of a Norway or the tax benefits of the UAE, the UK provides that deep specialization and proximity to global capital. There's a permanent demand for expertise.
So after all that, what does this all mean for you, the listener? We've looked at 10 incredibly different paths to a high income.
Right.
The major takeaway for me is that your best choice depends so heavily on matching your career specialty to a country's core economic drivers.
Yeah.
And, just as importantly, your own lifestyle preference.
Absolutely. If you're in AI or cybersecurity, you're looking at the US, Singapore, or Japan. If you're a doctor looking for maximum take-home pay, the UAE is an undeniable draw.
But if work-life balance is paramount, then you're looking at Norway or Australia.
The universal thread here is that high salaries are tied to specific high-demand skills. The future of earning power is in specialization and in knowing where your specialization is most valued.
And connecting this to the bigger picture, we kept seeing this really powerful theme emerge.
The active search for talent.
Yes. Germany explicitly needs skilled workers. Japan is raising salaries because of shortages. Canada keeps its immigration pathways open to sustain its workforce.
These are not countries passively waiting for talent to show up. They are actively competing for it.
So it's not just about who can pay the most. It's about who must pay the most to maintain their spot on the world stage.
Exactly. Which raises a really important question for you to think about. If so many of the world's most powerful economies are openly saying they need to import talent, what is the global competition for that expertise going to look like in 2026?
It sounds like we are moving into a truly global, worker-driven market.
Where the specialized talent really holds the power to choose.
A fantastic, provocative